Peter, the reason I'm here is that you are a foundation. You have built many foundations. You built a foundation at ACES. You took it over ACES at a very difficult time. Yet it did not have a grounding. It did not have the substance. You provided that substance. Peter, you were a founding father of the RESC Alliance, the Alliance of Regional Education Service Centers. Very important. You were there at the beginning. We were both there at the beginning. It was good for both of us. You then went to a fledgling organization, almost floundering in its infancy, as it left its nest with ASA and became AAESA. You enabled that organization to have the fiscal stability, the common sense, the hard work ethic that you put into everything you did. And I couldn't forget that you also did some sort of an athletic league. Perhaps a miraculous kind of a thing to do to get school districts to alter their athletic league. But Peter, somehow you did it. You gave it a foundation. More than that, Peter, from the time Roger Richards brought us together some 50 years ago, we've been friends. You have been a touchstone for me in that friendship over those 50 years. I want to thank you. Good luck, Peter. We're glad you're being honored, and good luck to the ACES Foundation. May it do good for its school districts and its kids.
Peter was like a s'more, hard on the outside and soft on the inside. If something was necessary to meet a student need, he would support it.
Staff and administration were always encouraged to try new educational ideas. Being prepared with the value for the students was a must when presenting these endeavors to Peter.
Peter was like a computer. He gathered information, he synthesized it, and produced usable information.
Peter had a vision and was a risk taker that made ACES grow and thrive, and more importantly, serve the children of the New Haven region. Peter worked with the staff at ACES and helped recreate the instructional division into what was called the School Services Unit at that time. And it would not have succeeded if Peter didn't have the vision for this to occur, and at the same time be willing to put a substantial amount of ACES funds into it for a number of years. And what is remarkable to me about Peter's work was ACES was the only regional center that had that support at the time for general instructional improvement across the districts. And shortly thereafter, there were 5 regional centers that replicated the model that we had at ACES. And then what followed was a better relationship on the instructional side with the Connecticut Department of Education. And we did large amounts of work with math improvement, effective schools, the beginning teacher program, cooperating teacher program. All those things came out of the idea that Peter had that we needed to support all kids, and that meant supporting teachers and schools in their efforts to have all kids learn. So as I think back, Peter was a wonderful mentor to me, but more importantly, his vision made a big difference in the learning of New Haven area kids.
Peter was like a building. His leadership was the foundation of ACES. He developed a steel-like frame that still exists today.
Peter was dedicated to students, staff, and families. His dedication to the success of ACES was extraordinary. He went above and beyond so that ACES was able to grow as a viable educational entity.
Peter was respected and respectful. He was well regarded among superintendents, boards of education, community organizations, and school districts throughout Connecticut. His respect for each individual student families, and the staff as a whole was evident in his consistent concern for their well-being.
Hi, my name is Keith. Professor Peter, you've been a good man. Miss you a lot. Thank you.
I love you, Peter Young. I love him.
You know, my experience with ACES goes back to 1976 when I was on the Board of Education as a young guy in North Haven. And in those days, I had no clue what ACES did or the kind of organization they were. But what an education I got when I learned the things that they were doing for the most disadvantaged in our community. This is a guy that I recognized immediately that was a visionary, a hard worker, a real pro at what he did. And I can't tell you what I learned from him and what the ACES organization has done. I've been through several presidents or CEOs of the organization since, and it's amazing. Each leader over the last 30 years has played an amazing role with growing this organization. So congratulations to the ACES group, and Peter, congratulations to you.
Good evening. Hi, Peter. I'm here to honor you today, and I like to do it in a poetic way. Picture this. It was a cold and snowy day. I was on my way to pick up kids that day. Our radio base to say the visibility was not clear that day, and the roads were very slippery that day. But to my surprise, Peter Young, you answered the radio that day. You said go home and be safe that day. So I did. I believe this song represents your beliefs. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children laughter show us how we used to be. Congratulations, Peter.
Peter could have been and was to ACES a real estate agent, an accountant, a moving company, financial analyst, and at one point, a fisherman. He even had a boat to prove it.
Peter was like a headhunter. He found and hired the best people to develop and create state-of-the-art programs for students. Look, he hired us.
Thank you, Peter, for everything.
Hi, Peter. Greetings from the two of us. We would like to make this little interview more than 2 minutes, but as you know, the vendors need to be paid.
It seems like only yesterday we were considered Peter's girls by many onlookers. We loved working for you and have very many fond memories of the Talented and Gifted program, clam bakes, pig roasts, and of course our Secret Santa parties. We love you and we wish you the best.
Like Bob Hope sang, thanks for the memories.